You type a few words, a fox in a red coat, oil painting, and seconds later, there it is. A picture nobody ever drew. It feels like the machine reaches into thin air and paints. It doesn't. It starts somewhere stranger and far simpler. Every one of those images is born as this, pure TV static. Random dots, no picture at all. And in the next few minutes, you'll watch that static get cleaned, one tiny step at a time, into a sharp portrait steered by nothing but your words. This is Glass Box, where we make the hardest ideas in AI feel obvious. Today's question: how does an AI paint a brand new image starting from pure noise? Here's the thing that trips everyone up. We imagine the AI painting like a person, a blank white canvas, then a first brushstroke, then a second, building the picture up. That is not what happens. Instead, the canvas starts completely full of random noise, and the AI's whole job is to take stuff away. It sculpts the picture out of the static by removing the parts that don't belong, painting by subtraction. So here's the plan in 5 steps. 1. Why it starts from static. 2. The one trick the model learns, denoising. 3. Why it cleans in many tiny steps, not one. 4. How your prompt steers the picture. And 5. We watch noise become a face live. Part 1. The blank page is static. Picture the screen of an old TV with no signal, that fizzing snowstorm of black and white dots. Now make it color. That random fizz is exactly where every AI image begins, not a blank page, a page that's pure chaos. And here's the surprising part. Hidden inside almost any field of random static, there is some faint arrangement of dots that, if you nudge them just right, would look like a fox, or a face, or a mountain. The picture isn't added on top. It's coaxed out of the noise that's already there. So what do we mean by noise? Noise is just randomness, every dot set to a totally random color with no pattern at all. Turn it up, the picture dissolves into static. Turn it all the way down, you're left with a clean image. Real example, like radio hiss between stations, sound with no song hiding in it, just fizz. Part 2. The one trick, denoising. Now how do you teach a machine to do that? You play a game backwards. You take millions of real photos, and to each one you slowly add noise, a little, then more, until the photo is buried in total static. You filmed a picture dissolving into snow. Then you run the film in reverse. At every frame, you show the model the noisier version and ask it one simple question: which part of this is the noise I just added? Point to the junk. Do this across millions of images, and the denoiser gets eerily good at one thing: look at any noisy mess and estimate the static hiding the real picture. Show it pure snow, and it will confidently point to almost all of it as noise to remove. That model has a name, the denoiser. Its only skill is spotting the noise in a messy picture so it can be subtracted away. It doesn't know what a fox is, it just knows what doesn't belong. Real example, like an audio cleanup tool that listens to a crackly old recording and tells you exactly which hiss to strip out, leaving the music. Part 3. Many tiny steps, not one leap. You might think, great, show it pure static, let it strip out all the noise in one shot, done. But ask it to leap from total chaos to a finished image in a single jump, and you get mush. So instead, it tiptoes, it looks at the static, guesses the noise, but removes only a small fraction. Still mostly noise, just a hair cleaner. Then it looks again at the slightly cleaner version and guesses again. Stack a few dozen of these gentle steps, and something remarkable happens. The shapeless fizz firms up into blurry blobs. The blobs sharpen into shapes. The shapes become an image. No single step did much, but together they carved a picture out of noise. Each of these little cleanups is a denoising step. One step removes a sliver of randomness and hands the result to the next step. Real example, like wiping fog off a mirror, one swipe barely helps, but swipe after swipe, the face in the glass slowly sharpens into view. How much to wipe away at each step is set by the schedule, the recipe for how fast to clean. Early steps make bold, blurry moves. Late steps make gentle, careful touch-ups. Real example, like sketching, you rough in big shapes first, then refine the fine details last, never the other way around. Part 4. Your prompt steers it. But wait, if the denoiser just removes whatever looks like junk, why does typing a fox in a red coat give you a fox and not a random barn? Because the prompt gets a vote at every single step. Turn that steering up, and the model clings hard to your words, very on prompt, but a little stiff. Turn it down, and it wanders off, creative but ignoring you. Crank it right, and the same starting static can become a fox, a castle, or a galaxy, depending only on the words you fed in. So the noise decides the rough layout, where things land, and the prompt decides what those things become. Same snow, different words, completely different picture. That steering has a name, guidance. Your words are turned into numbers the model understands, and at each cleanup step they tilt the guess. Of all the pictures hiding in this noise, lean toward the one that matches these words. Real example, like a sculptor working from a description, every chip of the chisel is nudged toward fox in a coat, so that's the shape that emerges from the block. Part 5. Watch it work. Let's run one start to finish. We hand the model a fresh field of pure static, and the prompt, a snowy fox, golden hour. Step 1, it guesses the noise, wipes a sliver away, still basically snow. Steps pile up, faint warm patches drift to one side, that's the golden light. A darker mass gathers in the middle, it's still blurry, dreamlike, half-formed, but it is no longer random. The later steps get delicate. The dark mass resolves into a pointed snout, 2 ears, a bushy tail, edges crisp up. The fur catches the light, every wipe steered gently by those 4 words. And there it is, a snowy fox in golden light, an image that has never existed, sculpted out of pure noise, not painted on, cleaned out. The static was always full of pictures, the prompt just told it which one to keep. So here's the whole picture. An AI image starts as pure noise, not a blank page. The model learns one trick, spot the noise so it can be removed. It cleans in many tiny steps, never one leap. Your prompt votes at every step, steering which picture emerges, and after a few dozen gentle wipes, static becomes art. That is a diffusion model. But a picture holds still. What happens when you want it to move, when every frame has to agree with the last, so the fox actually runs? That's a whole new problem, and it's the very next video. How AI generates video from nothing. If this finally made it click, subscribe so you don't miss it. This was Glass Box. See you in the next one.